yourself, just listen. When God speaks, you owe it to yourself to love.
Ladies and gentlemen, Doc Holly.
What's going on, you guys? Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. I'm looking forward to being able to talk about this particular topic today. Am I ready for a relationship? You know, when it comes to heartbreak, the recovery from heartbreak, it can really be trying at times. And especially when you're really trying to adjust yourself to get back into the whole sync of dating, right? Now, while you might be, you know, good to find a new relationship to throw yourself in, there are some things you should consider before venturing out to find new love. First, you need to make sure that your relationship prior, okay, is fully over and done with. There is no point in starting a new relationship if you're secretly hoping that your ex partner will take you back someday. And this is just real talk. Second, make sure that you are not going to just use this new relationship as a way to get back at your ex. I cannot tell you how many times people do that. And the reality is, enough people have already been hurt as a result of your previous relationship. So there's no need to bring anyone else into the mix. Third, you need to ask yourself if this is what you really want. Ask yourself that question. Remember, you are heartbroken. You've gone through heartbreak. And so a little time on your own might be just what the doctor ordered to help you feel better. So you need to ask yourself, is this what I really want? And be honest with yourself. Why? Because you owe it to yourself. But there are some things that you can be pretty sure that you are really ready to take on the responsibilities and the rewards of having a new partner. And you know me, I'm going to throw in some ways that you aren't, you are not ready. Okay. But the first one that I want to cover, a way to know that you're ready for love again, is that you actually think about falling in love again. It's just amazing. Um, it's amazing to be able to put yourself in a position to where you believe in love and you never lose hope in love. And you can reflect back on those feelings of wonderful moments, with an ex, the good times before everything may have went south. And so you can remember the love that you shared with that person. And so I know that whenever you've dealt with a heartbreak, it's really difficult to see the good because you're focused on the outcome, which may be bad to you. But once you can get over all of that and really see things for what they really are, you can really think about the future. And that's going to help you to think about falling in love again. And it can be so exciting about the possibilities of a new experience. All those good feelings, wholesome feelings. And so, the question to be asked is, do you find yourself thinking about what would it be like to feel this way again? Believe it or not, that is a wonderful place to be in when you can ask yourself that question. What does it feel like to be in love again? It doesn't matter if it's been a month or over a year or sometimes even 2 years. It could be a sign that you're ready to move on and date again. The second point that I want to make is that you know what the other person really wants. So if you're a woman wanting to date a man or a man wanting to date a woman, you know what they want. Now, if you're hesitant to be in a relationship now, you've probably been really burnt in the past. And maybe you've dated like an emotionally unavailable man or woman, or pulled away suddenly or unexpectedly. I can relate to this because I found myself in a situation where I had given myself to a gentleman, was dating him, felt like we were going on good ground, only to find and to learn he was emotionally unavailable. And so it's like you think you know what they want, but you really don't because he really didn't show up to the party, right? So although, relationships can, in essence, the failure of it, the demise of it can be heartbreaking. It can also be a valuable learning experience. And so for me, I chose to take that as a valuable learning experience for me to grow from. One thing that people want from a relationship, whether it be male or female, is to be wanted. And I know like a lot of men want to feel like a hero, not that superhero bull crap. Listen, they want to be the one who provides you something that no other man can, you know? And vice versa. If women really are real with themselves, they want to be able to be there for that man in such a supportive way that says, I got your back, I'm here for you, you can count on me. When you combine those two together, it is amazing. Men, some men really have it in their heart that they want to be there for you, to protect you, and to really be appreciated for that. And just like women generally, have the urge to nurture those they really care about, men have the urge to provide and protect. And so, you know, we need to be able to provide an environment for that type of energy to thrive in relationships and to be open to that. The best way to be ready for a relationship is to be really truly empowered with the right knowledge about what men and women want from each other. And so learning about different aspects can help you to do that. The third point that I'm going to make today is that you know you're a great catch. You know that you are a good catch, right? Um, Again, breakups have a way of really tearing us down. And if we're not careful, we don't get back up. But many times, it is a way for us to have self examination, to really look at our self worth, our self esteem. What is making up our design? Um, what is it that may be keeping us from feeling like we're worth nothing as well? So, this is the time for us to be able to really look introspectively and to say, hey, you know what? I am a good catch, and this is why. So, sit with yourself, you know, come up with the ideas of what you offer, what you actually bring to the table that's actually substance based, not surface, as I say, and then go with that. Come up with 5 things. Number 4, my fourth point is that you're actually excited to date. I can't stand a stale person. Like, oh, here we go again. Well, why even do it if you're going to have that kind of attitude? That to me tells me that you need to break away from getting out to date. If you have that mentality of, oh, here we go again, you may need to take a moment to where you're maybe burnt out or, something is going on. But you need to have an excitement for dating. Because when you have that excitement and you bring that type of energy in, you never know where that may take you in the long run when the person can feel that you're actually excited about being with them. The fifth point that I want to make is that you aren't still like grieving the last relationship that you're in. I don't know why people don't realize that when you go through, heartbreak, it's a loss. And when you lose something, you need to grieve. So the thing is that is so important is that you have to realize that, am I still grieving over the fact that I lost this person? And so a lot of times people don't even take time to assess this aspect. And it's very important that you spend time with yourself. No matter how long the relationship was, it basically hurts when it comes to an end. I've been there on multiple occasions. So if you're still, going through your grieving process, it's not the time to go out and date. Save yourself, save the other person, the pain of going through a letdown. All I know is if you can look back at a relationship um, and with bittersweet memories about it, it's a good sign that you're ready to see what else life has to offer. It's a good place. Hey, that's good. It happened. I moved on. I'm solid. Speaking over yourself, speaking positivity is very important. The sixth point that I want to make is that you've learned from your past. Maybe you dated a toxic person, and maybe you were in a draining marriage, or whatever it was, you need to learn from it. It's so important that you don't just hop from relationship to relationship. What did you learn? Okay. The seventh point that I want to make is that you believe people are good. You believe people are good. It really bothers me that when you have people that have a mindset that, oh, ain't no good men, oh, I hate this, I hate, it's such negativity. If you can believe people are good, then that is a very good starting point. If we're not careful, we can stay stuck in a phase and a mindset for a really long time, thinking negative thoughts about people based on our prior relationships and situationships. Okay, we have to be able to believe the good in people. If you truly believe deep down inside that people are good, it may be a time that you can step out and start dating again. The eighth point that I want to make is you can see what you did wrong. How many times do you know people are not accountable when it comes to relationships? They point the finger at the other person, but they never look at themselves. So when you can put yourself in the boat and see what you did wrong, that's it. It's a beautiful, beautiful display that I can be accountable for my actions, what role I played, any repeating patterns that may lead to a problem in this new relationship. I need to address those things. And when you can do that for yourself, you're moving in a forward position, and that's positive. The ninth point that I want to make is that you don't think about your ex. You are ready to date when you're not consumed with these thoughts of your ex, um, getting emotional about, what went on and the what ifs, the possibilities. Oh my God. And please understand, it happens to so many of us that you find yourself in a situation that you're trying to figure out what went wrong with the relationship. If you're still in a place of making an assessment of trying to identify what areas went wrong so that you can learn and grow, you're not ready for dating. But if you were able to make an assessment, you know what those are, and now you're at a place to where you don't think about them in that capacity, now you're ready to move on and to date. The 10th point that I want to make is that you're actually attracted to someone. Like, it's really hard to be in a position to be ready to date when you're consumed with an ex or you're stuck in the emotions and feelings of the pain of the past. It doesn't allow you to really truly feel for someone new. So if you can um, move on, being able to move on and become attracted to someone else, it usually really is like a kickstart that, okay, We're getting somewhere now. You're getting back into the groove of doing things. And so when you begin, feeling those wants and desires again, don't feel guilty about that. That's a healthy place to be attracted to someone else. The 11th point that I want to make is that you don't feel like you need someone else. Now, listen, though the most important sign that you're ready for a relationship is when you realize that you don't need one, many times we rely on relationships when we feel down or insecure about our own abilities. And that's not a good, healthy place to be. And so we count on another person to lift us up and make us better. Not only is this unrealistic, but it's also damaging to our psyche. It's not healthy to hope someone else can fulfill you to make you happy. You are responsible for your happiness. So after a breakup, it may take some time before you're feeling like yourself again. And so this is normal, but the last thing you want to do is run into someone else's arms to try and feel fulfilled. You need to take all the time that you need so that you don't feel like you need someone else. The 12th point that I want to make is that you have a handle on your story. What is your story? Breakups come with a whole bunch of baggage. And so before you can even start dating somebody new, you need to make sure that you have your own stuff and ideas about you and what happened. If you are starting to, um, you know, have all these feelings and everything, and like maybe you got left at the altar or whatever, and you're still blaming them for your unhappiness, you are not ready to move on. Okay? That's the point that I want to make with that. The 13th point, you know what you want for yourself. You need to figure out what goals and aspirations and you want for yourself and then set out to find someone who shares similar values and views. To have something in common with someone is so important in relationships. And a lot of times people will settle for those that are very incompatible. The 14th point, you can show up consistently for yourself and someone else. Oh my God. A relationship cannot survive without consistency. So when you can show up consistently for yourself and somebody else, then you are ready to date. If you cannot be consistent, you are not ready. Number 15, you are willing to be open and honest and engage in intimate communication. Listen, I'm not talking about just sex. I'm talking about intimate communication. Every relationship has its problems, but it's important to work on ourselves following the end of a relationship so that you don't continue to experience problems over and over again that you may have been experiencing in your prior relationship. You need to be honest with yourself and your new partner about what you need and want. Those are the intimate conversations that have to be had. The 16th point, you can accept people for who they are. Oh my God, people, stop trying to change people. The way people come to you, let them be so that you can know, do I need to keep going? Do they fit in my life? But don't try to shape them and mold them to fit in your life. Accept them for who they are and then allow it to blossom. Either you're going to like them or you're not. The 17th point, you don't need someone to make life more interesting. This goes back to happiness, right? No one should be responsible for your happiness except yourself. If something goes haywire in your relationship, it should not be determined upon that person that you're with, your partner, to fulfill your happiness because what ends up happening is that if they don't make you happy, you more than likely going to check out. So you need to be responsible for your happy. Once you are happy being on your own, you'll be ready to take someone into your life again and it'll be very fulfilling. The 18th point, you aren't depending on someone to make you happy. It just it just keeps going. Like this is such an important part uh, of the story. The prior one said you don't need someone to make life more interesting, and you The next point is you aren't depending on someone to make you happy. It's nobody's fault how you feel right now, whether it's good or bad. That's the reality. So you need to find ways to make yourself happy first, and then a relationship will be the icing on the cake. If you can find ways to make yourself happy first, then we're on the road. The 19th point that I want to make today is that you like your life the way it is right now. One thing I know about it, baby, if you are not happy in your life, whether it's with your career, your weight, your hair, whatever the case may be, if you are not happy in your life in multiple capacities, you're not ready. You are not ready because your focus is not there. It is nothing better than meeting someone who has their stuff together. Please, okay? It's hard to imagine taking on a new relationship when you don't have your life the way you desire it. You need to work on yourself for a while before you bring someone else into the picture. It just makes it harder for you to focus on what you need when you bring someone in and your life is not in order. The 20th point is you aren't bringing baggage to the relationship. Now, listen, we all have baggage, but I'm just saying, like that intentional stuff, you're not trying to bring that into the relationship, right? Before you commit to another relationship, you need to make sure that you are not going to blame this person for your previous missteps in other relationships. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to not bring baggage into your new relationship. Now, I want to hit these key points of how you know that you're not ready um, for a relationship. We talk about ways that you can identify that you're ready, but there are times that you're not ready for another relationship if you're still doing these things, right? If you're still not willing to step up for a person, to step up, be present in the moment, you're not ready to date. If you keep picking the wrong person, you're not ready to date. If you're choosing unwisely about the partner that you're choosing, you're not ready to date. If you think you need a relationship to make you happy, you are not ready to date. If you think a new relationship will fix all your problems, you're not ready to date. If you think that person is fixable, you are not ready to date. If you need someone to make life worth living, you are not ready to date. If you spend all your time thinking about when you'll be in a relationship, you are not ready to date. If you are not over your ex yet, you are not ready to date. And last but not least, you are willing to do just about anything for your partner. I'm going to elaborate on this one. So if this new person comes in and you are willing to do just about anything for them, sometimes that comes from a place of desperation and being needy. Be careful. You don't want to look like that. Don't rush into a relationship just for the sake of having a relationship. Why? Because you'll make poor choices and find yourself right back where you are right now. So I really hope that these have been helpful key points to you. I know many of you are really ready for dating and probably have gotten back out there and is trying your hand at this stuff again. Don't be discouraged. If you find yourself in a situation to where you are trying and it's not being successful, take a pause. Whether it's a week, a month, 3 months, take a pause and then come back to the dating scene. Don't allow yourselves to become tainted and toxic based on the experience, but allow that experience to be new to you. Why? Because you owe it to yourself. Thank you guys. I've enjoyed this time. Until next time,
yourself to love.